So, you want to get your Genesis weapon, aka the best weapon in MapleStory. It gives you a 10% final damage boost, as you can see right here, permanently, when you equip this item, and, you know, the little on and off effect is just the visual effect, don't worry about that, it's just toggle. And you get a 10-second iframe, which is, by the way, on a 180-second cooldown. That is pretty massive. 10 seconds of an iframe. So for example, if you're a Night Lord and you don't have a single iframe, or if you're a class with 0 iframes, this Genesis weapon will make you invincible for 10 seconds. So you technically do have an iframe after you liberate. So the TLDR is that the liberation process for getting your Genesis weapon takes a whopping 8 whole months. Yes, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. It takes 8 months. That's almost 1 year of your entire life. Like, nobody got time for that. So basically, Black Mage, you can start at level 255, you get the quest, you get it from 9 Heart, and you just have to accept that quest, and you can immediately just start getting carried. Or if you want to do it legitimately, you can start leveling even further, and you'll start dealing like decent damage to Black Mage around like 270. 275 is the full damage, I think, and then 280 you deal like an extra 20% damage. So if you really want to do Black Mage legitimately, that is fine, but it's going to take 8 months, so that's why I recommend you guys just immediately start getting carried. It's a little bit controversial, but you can get carried in Black Mage. All you need is the etc. drop. I know there's like a 5% damage reboot nerf or something like that, but don't worry, apparently I've confirmed with 2 endgame whales and reboot, you can just do Black Mage and get carried. All you need is the etc. drop. It's called the Black Mage Remnant. I will go ahead and put it up on the screen. Remember to pick this up if you are getting carried in Black Mage, and then you can start the liberation process. So before you even enter Black Mage, you want to have 50 of these Sparks of Determinations. This is going to drop from Chaos Tenebrous bosses, otherwise known as C-Teen. If you've heard that before in Reboot, that's kind of a weird abbreviation, but that's what it means. Chaos Tenebrous. So this drops from either Chaos Gloom or it drops from Darknell. Now, if you're in a regular server, you can just buy them in the auction house, God bless. If you're in Reboot, you have to kill, you know, Chaos Gloom, you have to kill, or just normal Gloom, I guess, and then you could do Darknell. So this drops from both of those bosses. You need 50 of these to enter Black Mage. It's the entry ticket. And then not only do you need 50 of these, you also need this from Hard Vihilla. This does not drop from normal, this drops from Hard Varus Hilla. So you have to learn this boss before you even... Actually, you just get carried. You can just get carried in the Hard Vihilla, and then you can enter Black Mage. So you need 1 of these, and you need 50 of these Sparks of Determination, and then you enter, and you go to Lorelei in Limina, and then she makes the key for you, Black Mage, and then you just enter. So the reason why the liberation process takes literally 8 whole months of your entire life in MapleStory is because you can only enter Black Mage once per month. I know, it's freaking annoying because every single boss other than Black Mage is like 1 week. Like even Kalos and like Hard Saren, that's like weekly. Culling, that all of that, these like super strong bosses are weekly, except Black Mage. Black Mage is once per month. So it takes 8 months because you have to kill 8 separate bosses solo or duo, but you start off usually doing solo. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the screen. You can go ahead and just take a screenshot of this and just kind of tuck it away in your folder on your computer. It is pretty helpful. I wrote this myself. So you start off killing stuff like, you know, really easy stuff like Hard Von Leon. You kill this and you do it naked. Now, the first 3 months are very easy. You start with Hard Von Leon, you do normal Arcarium, and you do Magnus. Now, what I mean by naked is that you do it with only your Genesis weapon. They give you a Genesis weapon that is like clean. There's no potential. There's no, like, there's nothing on it. It's not a real Genesis weapon. It's like a little dummy weapon that they give you. It's called the Unsealed Genesis weapon. And then you equip this, you equip your secondary, and then you equip your symbols. So this, when I mean by naked, you take off all of your equipment, like your top, bottom hat, all of that. You just keep your secondary. So if you're like a dual blade, you can equip your Katara. If you are a Night Lord, you can equip your charm, but just equip your Genesis weapon and then your secondary, and then you can keep your symbols on. You kill all of these bosses naked. Just remember that. So Hard Von Leon, normal Arcarium, and Hard Magnus, you do it naked. After 3 months, you start doing stuff like Hard Lotus. Now, there's handicaps for all of these bosses, okay? So, Hard Lotus, you deal 20% final damage reduction, and then you have 5 lives as usual. That is normal. And then next month, you do Hard Damien. Instead of 10 lives, you get 5 lives, so you really just can't be dying in Damien at all. I mean, you can die 4 times, but that's it. And then next month you do Hard Will. The only handicap for Hard Will for Liberation is that you take a 10% increased damage handicap. So that is going to include your 10 percent HP attacks. And then you have Hard Lucid. You can only defeat her with 50 power elixirs. They give you these little special, power elixirs, and that is the only handicap for Hard Lucid. So you need to be able to solo Hard Lucid at this point, and if you can solo Hard Will, you can solo Hard Lucid, and vice versa. So after that, next month, the final month, is that you kill Hard Varishilla. Now, for the Varishilla version of the Liberation quest, you actually kill her with 25% reduced HP. So that means you immediately go to phase 2, which means she will immediately start doing the little annoying green and purple bone wave attacks. So just make sure you remember how to dodge and, do the mechanics of Varishilla. Otherwise, you will fail at this quest. I mean, you could do it duo, but I would really recommend doing it solo because it's honestly pretty easy. Just remember you need 3 healing familiars. I have a guide for Varishilla. I don't know if it's like that good, but just watch it if you really want to know, or you could watch other videos of Varishilla guides. But basically, just remember green, you stay in the front, purple, you stay behind her for the dodging mechanics in Varishilla. And I'm not going to explain Varishilla, but yeah, Varishilla is the final quest for Liberation. So just make sure you know that boss inside and out before you actually decide to liberate. Well, it's actually the final month, so you could wait technically 7 months to, get to it. But yeah, after you've done all of these bosses, you are done with liberating. You have your Genesis weapon. You finally get your Genesis weapon. It starts off with a unique potential as the main potential. And if you're in Reg server, you get a bonus potential that starts off with Epic. If you're in Reboot, you obviously just have main potential, so don't worry about that. But yeah, you're done. After that, you kill Varishilla, you're done. So just to recap everything, guys, just remember you can start Black Mage as soon as level 255, and you can get carried. That's fine. I don't think people care if you get carried or not. They do probably shame you for it because Reboot is Reboot, and some people are toxic. Like some of the endgame players are like, oh my god, you didn't do it yourself, how fucking dare you. But don't listen to them. Seriously, it's just a video game. We're all just playing a video game. Who gives a shit? Just start the Black Mage liberation process as soon as possible. It takes 8 whole months. Just remember, at the end of each Black Mage run, you want to not equipped, but pick up the Black Mage Remnant. It is the etc. drop that drops from Black Mage. You need this to complete the quest, and it takes 8 months, so just make sure you don't fuck this up when you get carried or you do Black Mage legitimately. Either one, you need the etc. drop. So yeah, that is pretty much the gist of liberating. I hope this was helpful. If you're thinking about liberating, please make sure you have you have to be at least 255, but you can't just be 30k stat. You have to be at least maybe 40k stat, 50k stat. That is a good ballpark for Reboot, I would say. Reg server, you probably need 60k stat. You got to be really strong to do all these bosses by yourself, at least. I mean, you could technically just tough it out and just survive and learn the mechanics, but I don't think that you're ready at 30k stat necessarily. I would say definitely 40, 50k stat Reboot minimum, and yeah, just get to that threshold of damage and you are ready to start liberating. Just make sure you get it done as soon as possible because it is a 8-month process. That is going to absolutely destroy some people. I wish they could nerf it, but it's literally 8 months of your entire life. I can't get over how ridiculous that is, but that is MapleStory for you. It's super time gated, and this is no exception to that rule. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you found it helpful, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in the next one.